Welcome into the Brooks Bench with your host, Brooke, aka Shiggy, my co-host, Megan. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, follow us on all social media at the Brooks Bench, and join our Discord, link in the description. We will be going over the Elite Eight preview today. We'll also go over our reactions to the Sweet 16. I know we didn't do a Sweet 16 recap, but we'll give our little reactions to each game as well. But we got a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. So first matchup, March 30th, today, because this video will be out early in the morning. South Carolina versus Duke at 10 a.m. Pacific time on ABC. I'll go over the first three rounds, like the averages of each team for the first three rounds, kind of like how we did our Sweet 16 preview. I guess we should talk about Maryland almost beating South Carolina to get here. Meg. Crazy game. Super back and forth. Meg unfortunately missed it. You did catch the end though. You did catch the end.
Very end, yes.
But super back and forth game. I thought Maryland played an exceptional game. You guys looked great. You guys were hitting shots. The refs were on your side. No. No, I was concerned with South Carolina. Pow got in foul trouble early. I feel like the whistle, you guys had the favorable whistle. You guys were getting a lot of good calls. And you guys were hitting, but you guys didn't clutch it out. It's okay. It's fine. So now South Carolina is in the Sweet 16, and they'll be facing Duke. Duke beat UNC, like we told you, it was going to be a scrappy, low-scoring game, 47-38. Come on now. Wouldn't be a Duke UNC game without scoring less than 50 points.
For real.
But I mean, did you end up watching this one? This was an early morning one.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it was close, back and forth.
It's funny because even the coach said, you know how they interviewed during the game?
Yeah.
They were interviewing the Duke coach, and she was just basically like, I know you guys are saying it's boring and you guys wish it was more scoring, but we're two competitive teams and we just both play really good D. Yeah. And, she tried to like.
I mean, it's true. It's very defensive, okay, when these two teams meet. Duke decided to pull away at the end. But now South Carolina and Duke play against each other. Someone tweeted the final score of this game is going to be 28-20. That made me laugh. That was a good one.
You know what's crazy too is when I was tuned into that Duke and North Carolina game, they said that this is like the first time they've met in March Madness.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's a crazy stat because I know on the men's side, man, they meet all the time.
For real. For real. But like I said, I'm gonna give you guys the averages for the first three rounds of the tournament. So this isn't like overall in the season. So South Carolina is shooting 49% from the field and 42% from the three. I added defensive stats this time. They average about 16 forced turnovers per game, and then they've been allowing 56 points to their opponent to the opposing teams. Duke, on the other hand, is shooting 38% from the field, 33% from the three-point line. When I average their turnovers that they forced, it's 30, but there was an outlier because they forced 30 turnovers against Lehigh. But I mean, they do have a high, total turnovers against other teams. So take that for what you will. But they also only allow, in the last three games, 38 points average. So obviously, Duke, we always rave about Duke's defense, so I'm not really shocked here. Duke and South Carolina did play not in the regular season, preseason. December 5th, South Carolina defeated Duke 81-70. South Carolina shot really well this game. 57% from the field, 50% from the three. They had 23 points off of turnovers, and they outscored Duke 48 to 34 in the paint. Duke only shot 57% from the free throw line, so they struggled there. But South Carolina basically went off in the second half. They had a 25-point lead. Duke did try to get back into the game, but they didn't really get much closer. They had a little bit of a run, but didn't really work out. South Carolina started the game strong, shooting 60% from the field in the first 20 minutes. And I like that was pointed out because I believe it was I think it was Pow Pow. I can't remember who said it, but they're saying that It was one of the South Carolina girls. They were saying that we need to punch first. Like that's what we're lacking. We're coming out slow.
Yeah.
And in this game, the last time they played Duke, they came out fast, 60% from the field in the first 20 minutes. So I mean, on brand, on theme here. I mean, what are we thinking about this game?
Yeah. South Carolina has to be able to score and score early because if you can go up on Duke and then just consistently ride that, you should win this game.
Yeah,
But if you allow Duke to
hang
have
around.
yeah, and basically let their defense keep them in the game,
Mm-hmm.
you give them a chance because honestly, Duke is one of those teams too where I feel like their second half it's usually better for them
Yeah,
offensively because they're
yeah.
now warmed up.
Mm-hmm.
So the first half is where you got to kill them.
Yeah. I have to tend to agree with you. I feel like I don't start worrying about Duke until the second half. And then
Mm-hmm.
they always just pop off and
Yeah.
they just have this energy about them. They'll start hitting their shots, especially their threes. But I think you're right. I think South Carolina needs to make this a statement game. They need to pop out, show out. But I feel like back to back close ones, Indiana, Maryland. I feel like this game, they're gonna come out like, no, like we need to stop messing around. Like this is serious now. Two close games have been real concerning. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't know, bad shot selection, settling for threes, South Carolina. I mean, this is what I was noticing in the Maryland game anyways. Just a shot selection. Um, but Malaysia Wiley cooked this game.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think she is the difference maker. Her just change of pace, her just vibe when she is just carving defenses up. It
Mm-hmm.
just brings a different energy to the floor, and she's going to be important in every single game for South Carolina, in my opinion. I still have South Carolina winning this game. I still think they can do it. They have Dawn Staley. Duke, this is
Mm-hmm.
their first time in how many years that they've been to the Elite Eight? It's been a long, long time, and it's Carol Lawson's first time. So I'm gonna go with the experience of South Carolina. What would you agree
Yeah.
or
Same. Yeah. South
same?
Carolina.
Okay. Winner of this game would play the winner of the TCU Texas game. Um, we will get to that game. We do have to talk about UCLA versus LSU, because that'll still be on the 30th as well. 12 p.m. Pacific time on ABC. UCLA got here after defeating Ole Miss 76-62. I'll let you talk about this one, mate, because this is the one you actually probably watched
Man, I feel like UCLA. This game was a little too close.
in the first half.
Yeah, and that's my concern with UCLA though, because I mean UCLA honestly should have came out and been dominant the whole game,
Hmm.
but sometimes like no one on that team just like takes control and is that dominant player. Like
Hmm.
Kiki Rice could be that player, but she's not always. Like she
Hmm.
plays kind of like back and then doesn't really start showing up or like really driving and doing Kiki things until the end.
Yeah.
But it was it was I would kind of say this game was kind of boring too
Okay.
because
Go
what
ahead.
go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say because UCLA like they just weren't really hitting. It was just too close, but you knew that UCLA still had the upper hand because Ole Miss just was not hitting.
Hmm.
And when Ole Miss isn't hitting, it's just nothing. I mean, it's nothing they can do.
Hmm.
And then no one could really guard Lauren.
Yeah.
So, but I
Yeah.
still feel like UCLA didn't play like a great game.
No, and it was apparent when Lauren Betts was off of the floor because
Mm-hmm.
there was like a video circulating. She couldn't catch her breath, so she had to come off, and that's when Ole Miss really, you know, not narrowed the gap. What am I?
Yeah, I
You know
mean,
what I'm
because they
saying?
stayed in it pretty close the whole
Yeah.
game, in my opinion. But
Yeah, they came back to end the half, and basically it was a little worrisome. I thought Lauren Betts
hmm
was going to be out, but then she came back in the second half, and UCLA controlled the rest of the game.
yeah,
It's when Lauren Betts is not on the floor, how they're going to respond. I think that's the
yeah, who's
concern for
gonna take
UCLA.
control? Like,
Yeah.
and Kiki, I think we were talking about it during the game. Like, I feel like her freshman year, sophomore year, she was way more aggressive and just was more like, I don't know, her game just looked better.
Hmm.
And she looks uncomfortable sometimes out there, like unsure what she should do and not as aggressive until like she absolutely has to be. And I don't know. It's just a
Mm-hmm.
different Kiki, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's always gonna be Lauren Betts. No one's gonna stop Lauren Betts. So
Yeah.
if she's in foul trouble, if she's off the floor, it's always gonna be a concern. LSU, on the other hand, defeated NC State 80 to 73. Close, close, close game, back
Hmm.
and forth. But Anissa Morrow, man, we talk about Lauren Betts can't stop Lauren Betts. Anissa Morrow
Yeah.
got snubbed for SEC Player of the Year. I'll never
Hmm.
forget that. It's just unstoppable. Heartbreaker for NC State, honestly. Isaiah James, Sanaya Rivers played well, but LSU will be advancing, playing UCLA. We've talked about this matchup extensively because we thought this is what the matchup was going to be, and it is in the Elite Eight. So I'm sure you guys are sick of us saying it. This is going to be a good game
Hmm.
because if the big three, now I know Flau'jae struggled in the NC State game, and then
Yeah.
she got poked in the eye. It didn't make it anything better, right?
Hmm.
But if those three, Michaela Williams, Flau'jae Johnson, Anissa Moore are on, we stand by it. I think they're unstoppable. Like they
Yeah.
are great. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just think as long as they can stay out of foul trouble,
Exactly.
especially Anissa Morrow, because she has to guard Lauren Betts, or she at least has to be down there to help on Lauren Betts. And
They're
so if
gonna have, yeah. I don't think she's
yeah,
gonna be guarding Lauren Beth.
but if they can get Lauren Betts in foul trouble,
Yeah,
then it's going to be game over.
yeah. No, I agree. Anissa Morrow's not gonna be. She's not gonna be guarding Lauren Betts, but she's gonna be
But
important to
she's
this
going to be
game.
down low there.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
if you help and then get a foul call, just don't
yeah,
get in foul trouble.
exactly. It's how are they gonna stop Lauren Betts? That is the
Yeah.
question mark of the year. How do you stop Lauren Betts, basically? Well, with that said, I will say that UCLA through the first three rounds are shooting 53% from the field, 3%, 43% from the 3-point line. They're averaging 11 forced turnovers a game, and then 58 points allowed per game. NC State, on the other hand, I mean, not NC State, sorry, LSU, on the other hand, 49% from the field, 36% from the 3-point line, averaging 14 forced turnovers, and then points allowed, 64. So pretty similar. I mean, UCLA shooting a little bit better from um, the field and 3-point line. But are you still sticking by that you have LSU advancing, or has it changed since we've seen the teams play recently?
um, so in my original back bracket,
Mm-hmm.
I picked UCLA.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me, I think, picked UCLA is because I wanted to see the USC UCLA
Yeah.
battle again.
Yeah. No, I
um,
agree.
but in my second chance bracket, I went with LSU. I just think Anissa Morrow is just playing dominant basketball right now, and UCLA just hasn't been aggressive. Like I don't know. I just feel like once they play like a tough team like LSU, it's
Yeah.
gonna be it'd be hard for them.
Someone's
So
like a team that can kind of rattle them.
I mean, we saw them lose to USC. LSU is very similar. Their guards are dominant like Juju and the guards on USC, and then you got a Kiki. You have a Nisa Morrow. I mean, very, very similar teams, and we've seen them get beat by a team like that. So,
Yeah. I will be concerned. The only thing I'm really concerned about LSU's there's 3-point percentage shooting outside, like if it's a shoot off.
yeah.
Not to say UCLA
Well, yeah.
stand
If
out from the three, but
but if Flau'jae and Michaela Williams are not doing well, Anissa Morrow, we see that LSU cannot do it with just Anissa Morrow because one or the other. Like last game, Michaela Williams did step up and she
mm-hmm,
was having a decent game. Um, Flau'jae did not, but
mm-hmm.
ideally they need all three to hit to beat UCLA.
Yeah. Yeah, all three. I would agree with you. If all
Mm-hmm.
three are hitting and on fire, I would favor
Mm-hmm.
LSU. Um, but yeah, I think I'm still torn. I split my decision in my first bracket. I had UCLA. Second chance, I went LSU.
Yeah, so similar.
Yeah, I'm still torn on this game. I think it's gonna be a really good game. The winner of this game, though, will play the winner of USC UConn. Um, and then on Monday, the 31st, Texas versus TCU at 4 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. Uh, TCU beat Notre Dame 71-62 to get here. Notre Dame embarrassing. I don't know why we rode so hard for Notre Dame. I really don't know why. I apologize. Haley Van Lith, we've been rooting for you since Louisville. Great performance. I really think her draft stock rises off this game.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of the Notre Dame players' draft stock goes down. I'm sorry. It was just a bad, horrible performance.
I think after this tournament, I think Olivia Mount needs to come back and do
I
another
do
year.
too. Off of injury, like it's
Yeah.
it's like she just came back from injury. No one's expecting her to be like, wow, like
Yeah.
bam. But
And
it's
I know
like
she tweaked her ankle and stuff
exactly. She was
too,
playing hurt. Give her that too.
but
Um,
I think it'd be like just like AZ, like I just think it'd be best just do one more
beneficial.
year.
I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
But man, I rode on them still because Sonia Citron was cooking and she had
She did a
just a bad
bad
game.
game.
Unfortunately, it happens to everyone, but
Yeah.
she just could not hit. And when you're not hitting, then other things don't fall. She was getting bad fouls called. Yeah. So
It was just a blunder for Notre Dame, but TCU played
yeah,
very well. Haley Van Lith,
yeah,
outstanding performance. Texas got here by defeating Tennessee 67-59. Meg, you were close. Tennessee played well. They messed
yeah.
up at the end.
They
They
could
did
not
not
close it
cap.
in the
Oh my
fourth, man.
God, Jesus.
They closed the third quarter so well. I was like, man, we are here. And then even into the fourth, the beginning, like it was still right there. And then Texas went on a little run, and we could just not recover. It
But
was
it's
just
like
not
they
making smart
Tennessee had
decisions.
opportunities and good looks
Yes,
and they were just missing left and
yes,
right. It was so frustrating because I was like really pulling for Tennessee for a little bit. I was like, oh, okay, Tennessee.
yeah,
But no, Texas came out on top. TCU for the first three rounds is averaging 55% from the field, 46% from the three, forcing 7.6 turnovers and allowing 41 points. Texas, on the other hand, 49% from the field, 25% from the three, averaging 18 forced turnovers and allowing 56%. I'm not 56%, 56
points.
points. Either team they didn't play each other during the regular season. But I mean, what are you thinking about this game? Because I'm after watching TCU play, I'm torn. I'm more torn than I thought I was coming into the day.
No, like I still just feel like the teams that are playing Texas, like they're beat like Tennessee had this. They beat themselves, honestly. Like I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the mistakes Tennessee was making was just their own mistakes. Like
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't really Texas necessarily like really beating them. Booker did have a good game. She did have a
Yeah.
good game.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they were right there and a lot of things that I think if they would have fixed themselves offensively, they could have won this game. And so I do think that I'm still in that like, man, Texas is beatable. And the way TCU is playing, I think, okay, I think they are the team to beat Texas now.
It's hard because like Notre Dame really didn't have anyone to match up with Sedona,
Yeah.
but Texas does. Taylor Jones, Old Arky, like
Yeah.
they and that I don't know. I think that might potentially be enough. But I
Yeah.
don't know. Like I feel like TCU's passion and fire and just like underdog mentality is helping them win games. Haley Van Lith is going off. And I think I have to agree with you. I feel like Texas, I don't want to say that. That'd have been rude. I'm not going to say it. If you want to know, you'll never know. But
But I
I
will
agree
say
with you. Texas is beatable.
but I will say too though, you look at Texas and it's like Taylor Jones, Madison Booker, Harmon, right? Harmon, offensively, she's been all right. She's facilitating, let's say, and she's playing well. She's playing well defensively, I will say. It's really Taylor Jones and Booker. If they're hitting, then cool. For TCU, though, I think Madison Connor has been playing like
Mm-hmm.
great basketball in this tournament.
Yeah.
And then also Emma, how do you say her name? Emma Nanopu?
Enanopu. Emanopu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brooke.
She stepped
She
up.
to me, she's the X
I was going to
factor
say
for
that. Yeah.
TCU.
I agree.
And it's not even an offense thing, really. It's just an energy.
Mm-hmm.
She brings the energy, the hustle. She the honestly, she changed momentum off of key plays, and it's not even because she like hits a big bucket or
Yeah.
anything. It's grabbing the right rebound at the right time, getting the stop at the right time. I feel like she's the X factor, and if she can have a good game, just doing those things,
Mm-hmm.
they can beat Texas.
Hear me out. I was like thinking to myself while you're talking, I think I will
Mm-hmm.
favor TCU. Texas, I have pointed out almost every single time we talk about Texas, their struggle from the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other hand, TCU can hit. And if they get on fire, especially with Madison Connor, how is
Mm-hmm.
Texas going to recover from that?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I'm leaning towards TCU. I mean, would you say the same or
Yeah. I think I'm leaning towards TCU. I know that Preston had a good game for Texas off the bench.
yeah, she did.
I don't know if that's a consistent
No.
thing, Lee as well. And they
Yeah.
don't normally have great contribution off the bench. So I just have to lean TCU.
And it's not, I wouldn't say great. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's not great contribution because I feel like certain players have stepped up when needed for them off the bench. I feel like they're still trying to find their rotation. Even the last game, they were talking about Jordan Lee starting and then how he's still trying to like figure out like who wants to be that fifth person in the, you know.
Hmm.
So it's like I feel like there's inconsistency there.
But it's
Um
but come on, it's March Madness, and you're trying to figure out your rotation.
I know. That's why I'm leaning towards TCU. They have the energy, underdog mentality. They're playing tough. They can shoot well from the field and from the three. They have a big.
Hmm.
I'm going TCU.
Yeah. Well, Texas, I would keep the lineup that you played with this last game. Have Lee coming off the bench because I think that she was way more productive
Yeah, I think I like her off the bench too.
off the bench. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game. I
It's gonna
honestly,
be a
so
good
far,
game.
all the
All these
matchups
games
are
are gonna
going
be
to be
good.
great. So
Yeah. All these games are gonna be good. Um, they would play the winner of South Carolina Duke, which we'll talk about in the future. But last game of Elite Eight. USC versus UConn, 6 p.m. Pacific time on ESPN. The matchup we all thought was going to happen, but not under the circumstances that it is today. Obviously, no Juju Watkins. UConn got here after beating Oklahoma 82 to 59. Obviously, it was close. Oklahoma led at half, but it didn't matter because UConn, Paige Beckers is just Paige Buckets. What she had like 40 points today?
yeah,
Crazy.
man,
Just
she is
insane.
cooking.
She's just, her jumper's beautiful. Her shot's beautiful. It's Paige Beckers. Like, it's just flowers.
Mhm.
There's not really much to talk about this game. UConn handled it, and this game made me think that UConn is the team to beat. I don't know. What do you think about that statement?
It's Paige. I mean, if Paige is playing
Yeah,
basketball the way she
just playing basketball.
the you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Paige, Paige is Paige. Paige can win
yeah,
basketball games. That's
mm-hmm,
all I gotta say. Paige can
yeah,
win basketball games, and I think USC just being young, you're about to go up against a
yeah.
team
No
that
juju. Yeah,
they've been here before.
yeah,
And yeah, Sarah Strong's a rookie, but everyone else has. I mean, they got to a Final Four last year with KK Arnold, Shade, Ice Brady,
mm-hmm,
Becker. You know what I mean? That was like their starting five.
yeah,
So I just yeah, USC is gonna it's gonna be a battle for USC. USC would have to literally be on like hitting.
mm-hmm. Well,
So
USC got here by playing Kansas State. I felt like they played a
yeah,
really good game. Um, the freshmen really stepped up. Kennedy Smith, Avery
right.
Howe. And this is just a shout out to Kaylee Heckle because I feel like she should be playing more minutes and over Von Oelhoffen. So Gottlieb,
Mm-hmm.
change the lineup, please. Um, but yeah, I thought USC, it was slower game than we're used to seeing with USC. But I feel like they played a solid game. Kiki didn't have the best game, but other people around her stepped up. Like you said, it's going to be difficult. Right now, UConn is shooting 53% from the field, 43% from the three, averaging 22 forced turnovers and 50 points allowed. USC, on the other hand, only shooting 42% from the field, 29% from the three, 19 forced turnovers and 48 points a game. It's going to be hard. I know USC defeated UConn 72 to 70 earlier in the season, but that was with Juju. And they actually had a healthy lead against UConn, 51 to 33 in the third quarter. UConn did get themselves back in there. But this was the game Sarah Strong missed her free throws, remember? to tie the game, which was rough. But USC, they shot really well that game. 49% from the field, 56% from the three to beat to barely beat UConn. That's what and with Juju. So yeah,
Uh-huh.
there's a lot of things USC has to do right to even try and win this game. I think it's going to be hard. The only thing I said of concern that we talked about, Meg, for UConn was what if Paige has a slow start? Who's going to step up? You know?
Yeah, but in the first matchup, AZ Fudd wasn't really
Yeah.
playing like that.
She
She was
wasn't,
still
yeah,
adjusting. She
exactly.
was still getting into the rhythm. The AZ Fudd that's now playing in this tournament can easily step up, I think, if Paige has a slow start, which we've already seen in
Mm-hmm.
the beginning games of the tournament.
Yeah.
Uh, I think the very first game of the tournament, AZ went off and Paige
Mm-hmm.
had a very, very slow game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the difference
Mm-hmm.
from then to now that gives UConn the edge
Yeah.
because AZ's hitting.
There was already concern for this matchup even with Juju, and not even concern. It was already going to be a competitive game with Juju.
Right, right.
Now you take out Juju, who's the most important player on this team.
Well, yeah,
Can
because you look at it as Juju can match with Paige, so they kind of can cancel each other out. So then you
mm-hmm.
always look at like who's next, right?
Yeah. The supporting cast.
Mm-hmm.
USC, I don't know what they could pull out of their bag of tricks, but obviously we're going to be leaning UConn this game with no Juju Watkins. But hey, you never know. USC has
Mm-hmm.
been playing inspired. They beat Kansas State, which we were all concerned about a little bit. Winner of this game will play either, what would I say? UCLA and LSU. So that'll be a good
Mm-hmm.
matchup as well. But that concludes the Elite Eight preview. It's going to be coming out obviously the morning of Elite Eight. So hopefully you guys watched it, got our opinions on it, and our reactions to basically the games of Sweet 16. It's been very entertaining. It's only going to get more entertaining to see who the Final Four are going to be. But yeah, I think this championship is up in the air. Anyone can take it this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be fun and stressful. It's been pretty stressful. But thank you guys for tuning in so much. I know we stopped talking about bracket updates because ours are busted. They are bad. I forgot. Next video, I'll shout out who's in the lead because it's a different person now. But thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate all your support. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new. We'll be here on March Madness, and we'll be back soon. Peace.
Peace.